Hey yo, what we're saying is your boy AJ, and we're going to do a different kind of video today. We did a similar sort of video a few days back, going over what units could Zenkai awaken for the year 3 anniversary. This video is going to look at units that possibly could, sometime in the future, just, you know, after 3-year anniversary is settled, after the dust is settled, everything like that. After that, what could Zenkai awaken in the future? So we're going to look at 4 different units. You can probably see them already on the thumbnail. So yeah, well, let's talk about without further ado, let's talk about the first unit in the video. Okay, so the first unit I want to talk about is Golden Frieza-sama. Part of the 1-year anniversary, came out with one of the other units I'm going to talk about. And I think this was on the banner with the blue Goku that already has a Zenkai awakening. This guy, when he came out, was pretty much the best unit to run on a Lineage of Evil Frieza Force team. His stats at the moment, I mean, mine is almost close to being done. And stats, they're okay. They're okay. I wouldn't say they hold up today, but, you know, they're fine. I can definitely run this Golden Frieza in PvP and still do some damage with him, because he does get, I think it's this one, yeah, so he does get this unconditional 30% damage inflicted against Saiyans, which is always going to be viable. So when this guy gets a Zenkai, or if he gets a Zenkai, he is probably going to be the menace of all Saiyan or Sun family teams. So I'd assume his blast attack will go, well, actually skyrocket. His defenses will probably go up to a decent amount. Strike attack I wouldn't really touch because he's not really used for that. His green card, 20% to blast damage inflicted for 20 time counts. Applies attribute upgrade, minus 50% to enemy sustained damage cut. Effects when activated when changing cover to self for 20 time counts. Sorry. So not a bad green card, especially if you got a full blast hand. You can inflict bleed with the ultimate of the blue card. Sorry. And then the ultimate actually is one of those ones that is like an AoE and also hurts the enemies on standby as well. His main ability at the moment restores Q by 35% to ultimate damage inflicted for 10 timer counts if activated within 60 timer counts for battle start, and 35% to ultimate damage inflicted for 10 timer counts if health is 50% or below. I could see them getting rid of that 60 timer count mechanic. I could see them doing that. I wouldn't necessarily touch the percentage, so I wouldn't say make it 40%, something like that. I'd maybe say give him probably, I don't know, like arts card draw speed maybe, I don't know. His Z ability isn't much to be screaming about. So let's see the first one. The following effects activate from start battle for 60 counts. -5 to own blast arts cost, 50% damage inflicted. Increase arts card draw speed by 1, and 30% to own key recovery. I mean, I could definitely see them, you know, the -5 to blast cards. I could definitely see them adding that as well to maybe something, maybe like, I don't know, all cards. If you got -5 to all cards, that'd be pretty nice. 50% damage inflicted, that's still pretty good. Increases arts card draw speed by 1, that's pretty good. Key recovery, I'd probably maybe up to about 35-40 possibly. And then we already had a look at this one before, but this is a 30% to damage inflicted against Saiyans. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield: inflicts enemy with 35% to damage received for 20 counts, and inflicts enemy with -20% to key recovery for 20 counts. Again, this is one of the ones where I wouldn't necessarily touch too much. Probably just change a little tiny bit, like maybe give it 35% to damage inflicted against Saiyans. I don't know, maybe 40% to damage received, 25% to key recovery. I don't know. This Frieza, when he gets a Zenkai, or if he gets a Zenkai, like I said, will need very minimal changes to his card. Very minimal. Just some nice little increases on the stats. Maybe it would do him. But the actual uniques don't really need touching that much, and all of us stuff don't really need touching that much. And then obviously you'd have 2 other Zenkai abilities, which is probably, I'll just say, just give it like a support type gonna be like a support type passive for the Wicked Bloodline, Lineage of Evil team, whatever you want to call it. Something like that, I would say. Okay, the next unit I want to talk about is another GT unit. They are kind of going ham on GT at the minute, so you never know. This could happen. And that is the original Blast King Super Saiyan Goku. I have mine at just midway about. He actually has pretty much the same blast attack as the Golden Frieza at, I think, like 2 less stars. So at maximum, let's just display at maximum 246 to blast attack, which is pretty insane. Defense is as weird. This guy gets let down, and also he gets let down with his lack of buffs from this. Especially, I don't know, he doesn't have any defense or anything like that. His green card's pretty good, so he changes all your strike cards to blast cards, and he gives you blast damage and blast 20% to blast damage for 15 counts, plus 10% to blast damage inflicted per blast card in your hand. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily change that if I'm being honest. Main ability: 20% damage inflicted for 15 counts. Increase arts card draw speed by 1 for 5 counts, and increase arts card draw speed by 1 for 15 counts. So you get 2 separate arts card draw speeds there. So for 5 counts, you got 2 times arts card draw speed. For the 10 counts after that, you've got just 1. And again, I wouldn't necessarily change that. I'd probably just up the damage inflicted to maybe like 30 for like 30 counts or something like that. Z ability isn't the best. 23% to tag Saiyan, blast attack and strike defense. His first unique: the following effects occur from battle start for 60 counts. 40% to blast damage and -15 to own blast arts cost. Reduces damage received by 20%. Like I said, I'd probably up the damage received. Like made that like 30%. The blast damage inflicted, 40% is fine, and then -15% to blast cards. That's fine. That's fine. Leave that as that. His second unique: plus 15 to damage inflicted for 15 time counts every time a blast arts card is drawn. Again, so this guy basically relies on drawing blast cards. I think he holds 2. Yeah, he holds 2 blast cards. One of them can have a card destroying effect. That's nice. I didn't really realize that. As for this guy's Zenkai, I would say he'd probably buff green GT, or maybe green, I don't know, green Super Saiyan. I don't know. I won't necessarily say green Saiyan. I mean, the only thing is that he's the ability buff Saiyan, so he probably will buff green Saiyan. But yeah, they don't need to make, well, they need to do a lot more to this guy than they need to do to Frieza, put it that way. It's just mainly, I would say, in his uniques, just change a couple of his uniques up, change a couple of stuff on there. I would just say 20% to just damage inflicted, not just blast damage. So even if you do have a couple of strike cards, you can still deal a little bit. But yeah, I wouldn't really. I just change mainly the uniques about this guy and just give him minimal stat changes on, especially stuff like the blast attack. Like, defenses can go up a little bit, but blast attack I'd pretty much leave as it is, because the soul boost will make it like close to 300k as it is anyway. Okay, so the penultimate unit I want to talk about is probably I would say the counterpart to one we already have, and that is the purple Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta. So this guy came out around year 1, came out on the other year 1 banner to what the blue Goku came out on, and obviously the blue Goku already has a Zenkai. He's had a Zenkai for a while, so I would say probably it's only a matter of time before this guy gets one, if I'm being honest. Let's just display him at max, because I don't have him at max just yet. So at max, 244 strike attack, that's good. Blast attack is decent, it can hold its own, and defenses are pretty decent as well. This is one of the units that at max will be better than most of the units, better than like Golden Frieza at max, and better than the GT Goku we just looked at max. His super deals major impact damage, 20% to strike damage. So this is pretty much, this Vegeta is all about strike damage. So his green card counters blast arts attacks. I don't think it does tap attacks. I don't think so. So Once the counter is activated, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% to impact damage received. So impact damage received will be stuff like the strike, blast, major impact damage. Yes, so that'll count as well, and same with the ultimate. So it will basically give you 20% to damage received, pretty much, or damage. It will give you 20% damage inflicted, pretty much, but only on that one enemy. I would probably change that and make it just so Vegeta gets the buff himself. So, you know, the unit could easily switch out and you'd lose that. You can pursue it with everything, though. That's pretty good. One thing I do like about his ultimate as well. So it destroys all your cards, apart from obviously the ultimate, because you're using it. One card gives you 30% to ultimate damage inflicted. 2 cards give you 50%, and 3 cards give you 75%. What I would do just to make this guy pretty decent, because the Goku himself is decent. So on his main here, so you draw the ultimate, inflicts enemy with minus 100% to health restoration, and you nullify health, restore health when it reaches 0 effect for 30 counts. What I would do to kind of coincide with his ultimate needing 3 cards to give massive buff is make the main ability draw like at least 2 cards, so you at least get the 50%, is it? Yeah, 50%. Make his ultimate draw 2 cards just to rub more salt in the wounds, I would say. His Z ability is similar to the Goku, where the Goku is blast attack and defense. This Vegeta is strike attack and defense for God Ki. He'll definitely on his Zenkai buff purple God Ki, like the Goku buffs blue God Ki. His first unique following effects occur when his character enters battlefield. Draw a strike card, restore ki by 30, 40% strike damage inflicted for 15 counts, and increase arts card draw speed by 1 level for 10 counts. So that's actually pretty decent already. I would say that's pretty good. Maybe 40% damage, just damage inflicted, just straight damage inflicted. Restore ki, that's fine. Keep it at 30, and increase the arts card draw speed by 1. That's fine. Probably make that 15 counts to match with the damage inflicted, I would say. But apart from that, I wouldn't really touch that much. And you inflict all enemies with no switching for 5 counts when the character enters the battlefield, but you get -2 to own substitution count. So you kind of get the drawback for that. But obviously you can lock people in. Again, I won't really change that much. Like I said, the only really thing I've changed to his kit, his base kit, would, like I said, give him at least 2 random cards on his main. So when you do use the ultimate, you have a good chance of getting that 75%. Because most of the time you're gonna combo into an ultimate, obviously, unless you're just weird. But most of the time you're gonna the combo into an ultimate, and by the time you got the ultimate from your main ability, you don't have any cards left. So yeah, most of the time you are getting only that like 30% the ultimate damage. You're not getting that 75%, whereas this guy will destroy. But yeah, I would definitely say that's what I would do this guy. Strike attack, I wouldn't really touch that much, because like I said, the soul boosting is just gonna shoot it up anyway. Maybe give him more defenses, so maybe just make him like a strike and a defensive monster, I would say. Okay, and the last unit we're going to look at is probably, I would say, maybe the most requested Zenkai. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but maybe the most requested Zenkai in this game, and it's a red God Ki unit. The Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. This guy came out the second Black Friday of the game, so basically just over a year now. He came out with the LF Blue Vegeta. His stats are pretty decent. It's very similar to the Vegeta we just looked at in terms of the stats. Not necessarily lean towards one way, so he is more he's more strike based, but he can deal some decent blast damage, and his defenses are pretty good as well. His blue card restores vanishing gauge by 40%. His green card gives you 20% to strike damage inflicted for 20 counts, and lowers your strike and blast cost to gives you -5 on your cost for those. His ultimate just gives you 50% ultimate damage for 3 counts. I would probably, this guy, One thing I have seen with the other Rosés, so the green transforming Rosé and the LF Rosé, is they do bleed on like some of their stuff. I would definitely give him bleed on maybe his blue card, like restore vanishing gear by 40 and inflict opponent with 100% chance to inflict opponent with heavy bleed or something like that. And probably not the extreme bleed that the LF Rosé have, but just heavy bleed, I would say. His green card, I would probably just change to damage inflicted. That seems to be the way they do go with units that have like a certain type of buff. So say like a unit before Zenkai has like 20% to blast damage, 20% to strike damage. They just kind of change it to 20% to just straight damage inflicted. The minus five to cost, I would keep that the same, I would say. His main ability restores health by 20% and nullifies unfavorable element factors for 30 counts. So it's a pretty good main ability. I will just give him 20 key just so you can get that ultimate. One thing I have noticed playing this Goku Black sometimes is you don't really notice and you run out of key and you pop your main to try and get ultimate and you still don't have the key to do it. So I'll just literally keep that the same, but just give him 20 key. C ability is pretty good, I would say. I'm almost got mine to 7+ stars, so I'll get that extra 5%. Strike, attack, and defense for God Key and Future. Question is, would this guy buff Red God Key or would he buff Red Future? I would say Red God Key. I'd prefer it to be Red God Key. So first unique, applies the following effects to self based on the own health when the character enters the battlefield. If you're 75% or more, you get 30% damage inflicted for 15 counts, and arts card draw speed by 1 for 15 counts. If you're below 75, you restore your key by 30, 45% damage inflicted for 20 counts, and increase arts card draw speed by 1 for 20 counts. Again, there's not much I would change here, not a lot. I will probably give him restore key unconditionally, so he restores key by 30 when you're below 75. I'll probably restore key by 15, let's just say, when your health is above 75. So the fact that because yeah, you'd have, just give him 15 plus 15 key in the health 75% or more bit and keep the rest the same. His second unique inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 10% damage received from God Key and Future 3 times. The following effects occur when this character dodges attack with a vanishing step, randomly destroys one enemy card, reduces next damage sustained by 30% as it applies to an enemy combo is finished. I'd keep that I'd keep that the same as well, but just change it up a little bit maybe. So maybe 15% damage received by God Key and Future, and then possibly, I would say, instead of reducing next damage sustained by 30%, I'd probably say give him a damage reduction of 30% for like 10 counts. Possibly, that shouldn't be too bad. 10-15 counts. Because, like I say, you're evading the vanishing step, you're, I don't know actually. Maybe keep that the same, because like I said, if you're evading an attack with a vanishing step, you're just going to end up attacking them, and they're not going to end up attacking you. So maybe the damage cut isn't going to activate for you. I don't know. Yeah, maybe keep that the same then. But yeah, there's not much I would change about this guy. Again, his other uniques, the other 2 uniques he would get, I don't know. Maybe give him like key every time he uses a card. So like every time you connect with a strike or blast, you give him like 5 key, or maybe like lower the enemy's key by 5 key, something like that. Like give him that green transforming Rose buff. But I don't know. With that, we're going to wrap this one up. Let me know if you guys want to see any of these. If I was to choose one and not have any of the others, I'd probably go for the Vegeta, just so we have like that Vegeta and the Goku both Zenkai. But I'm gonna get myself out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, do that good stuff, because it is, as always, very, very, very highly appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.